In the intricate tapestry of ecosystems, there are certain species whose presence holds a disproportionate influence over the entire fabric of life, and we'll meet a few of them today in this video. These species are known as keystone species, a term coined by the pioneering ecologist Robert T. Payne in the 1960s. Like the keystone in an arch, their role is pivotal. Their absence can lead to the unraveling of entire ecosystems. Keystone species play a crucial role in maintaining the structure and function of their respective ecosystems. They exert a disproportionate influence on the diversity and abundance of other species, shaping the environment in which they live. From predators that regulate prey populations to engineers that sculpt landscapes, these species are the unsung heroes of biodiversity. We'll start our journey in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania and make our way to the Pacific coast. In the heart of a lush forest, amidst the tranquil babbling of a stream, resides Brian, the beaver. With his sleek brown fur and industrious nature, Brian is not just another woodland critter. He is a keystone species. His dam building activities create wetlands, which serve as vital habitats for numerous other species, including fish, amphibians, and birds. Brian's contribution to the ecosystem is immeasurable. By slowing down the flow of water and creating ponds, he helps to mitigate floods downstream and recharge groundwater supplies. His dams also trap sediment and filter pollutants, improving water quality for both wildlife and humans alike. However, Brian faces formidable challenges in the modern world. Deforestation and climate change threaten to disrupt his habitat and alter the hydrological cycles on which he depends. As forests are cleared for agriculture and urban development, Brian's homes disappear, leaving him with dwindling options for survival. But all hope is not lost. By protecting and restoring natural habitats, we can safeguard Brian and his fellow beavers. Implementing sustainable forestry practices and conserving riparian zones are crucial steps in ensuring their continued presence in our ecosystems. Additionally, promoting coexistence between beavers and humans through non-lethal management strategies can help mitigate conflicts and foster harmonious relationships. Brian, the beaver, reminds us of the profound impact that keystone species have on the health and resilience of ecosystems. By recognizing and valuing their contributions, we can work together to preserve the intricate web of life that sustains us all. Across the vast expanse of the Great Plains, roams a symbol of strength and resilience, the mighty bison. For countless generations, Native Americans have revered this iconic creature as a symbol of abundance, spirituality, and interconnectedness with the land. The bison, also known as buffalo, holds a sacred place in the hearts and cultures of indigenous peoples. As a keystone species, the bison once shaped the ecosystems of North America in profound ways. The grazing behavior helped to maintain the grasslands, promoting plant diversity and providing habitat for a multitude of other species. Bison wallows, created through their rolling and dust bathing, served as microhabitats for insects and plants, further enriching the landscape. However, the arrival of European settlers in the 19th century brought about a catastrophic decline in bison populations. Rampant hunting and habitat loss pushed these majestic creatures to the brink of extinction, with estimates suggesting that over 30 million bison were reduced to just a few hundred individuals. Today, although bison numbers have rebounded thanks to conservation efforts, they continue to face numerous challenges. Habitat fragmentation, competition with livestock, and genetic isolation threaten the long-term viability of wild bison populations. Climate change further exacerbates these pressures, altering the availability of food and water and increasing the frequency of extreme weather events. To support the survival of bison and honor the cultural significance they hold for Native Americans, conservation efforts must focus on restoring their natural habitats and promoting coexistence with other land uses. By working collaboratively with indigenous communities and implementing holistic land management practices, we can ensure that the spirit of the plains, embodied by the bison, continues to thrive for generations to come. In the bustling gardens and verdant meadows, amidst a symphony of blooms, flits Bella, the bee. With her delicate wings and tireless work ethic, Bella embodies the essential role that bees play as keystone species in ecosystems around the world. As pollinators, bees are indispensable contributors to the reproduction of flowering plants, including many of the crops that sustain human life. Bella's foraging expeditions are not just about collecting nectar and pollen for herself. They are vital to the reproduction of countless plant species. By transferring pollen from one flower to another, bees facilitate fertilization and seed production, ensuring the continuation of plant communities and the provision of food for a diverse array of wildlife. Yet, Bella and her fellow bees face a myriad of threats, chief among them being habitat loss, pesticide exposure, and climate change. The conversion of natural habitats into agricultural fields and urban landscapes reduces the availability of flowering plants essential for bee nutrition and nesting sites. Pesticides, intended to protect crops, inadvertently harm bees through direct toxicity and sublethal effects on their behavior and immune systems. Climate change further compounds these challenges, altering the timing of flowering and disrupting the synchrony between bees and their plant partners. Extreme weather events, such as heat waves and droughts, can decimate bee populations and diminish the availability of floral resources. To support Bella and the vital ecosystem services provided by bees, concerted action is needed on multiple fronts. Protecting and restoring habitat corridors rich in flowering plants can provide bees with essential forage and nesting opportunities. Adopting agroecological practices that minimize pesticide use and promote biodiversity in agricultural landscapes can safeguard bee health while maintaining crop productivity. Furthermore, raising awareness about the importance of bees and empowering individuals and communities to create bee-friendly environments in their own backyards can make a tangible difference. By working together to address the threats facing bees, we can ensure that Bella's buzzing presence continues to grace our gardens and wild spaces for generations to come. Amidst the vast expanses of the American prairie, beneath the azure sky, scampers Penny, the prairie dog. With her keen senses and social nature, Penny is not just a denizen of the plains. She is a keystone species whose underground burrows serve as the cornerstone of the ecosystem. Penny's burrowing activities play a crucial role in shaping the prairie landscape. Her extensive network of tunnels aerates the soil, allowing water to penetrate deeply and promoting the growth of native grasses and wildflowers. These burrows also provide refuge and nesting sites for a variety of wildlife, from burrowing owls and swift foxes to snakes and insects. However, Penny and her fellow prairie dogs face a formidable adversary: habitat loss and fragmentation. As grasslands are converted for agriculture, urban development, and energy extraction, the once vast expanses of prairie shrink, leaving Penny with dwindling options for survival. Moreover, prairie dogs are often viewed as pests and targeted for eradication due to perceived conflicts with livestock grazing and the potential for disease transmission. Climate change poses an additional challenge, altering the availability of water and vegetation and increasing the frequency and intensity of wildfires on the prairie. These disruptions threaten not only Penny's survival but also the integrity of the entire ecosystem that depends on her engineering prowess. To support Penny and the unique ecosystem of the prairie, conservation efforts must prioritize the protection and restoration of native grasslands. Collaborative approaches that engage landowners, ranchers, and indigenous communities in sustainable land management practices can help mitigate conflicts and promote coexistence between prairie dogs and other land uses. Furthermore, raising awareness about the ecological importance of prairie dogs and advocating for their protection can help garner support for their conservation. By recognizing Penny as a keystone species and respecting her role in shaping the prairie ecosystem, we can ensure that the iconic landscapes of the American West continue to thrive for generations to come. In the arid expanses of the Sonoran Desert, standing tall against the relentless sun, stands Sammy, the saguaro cactus. With his towering stature and iconic silhouette, Sammy is not just a fixture of the desert landscape. He is a keystone species whose presence defines the ecosystem and sustains a myriad of desert dwellers. Sammy's towering arms provide shelter and nesting sites for a diverse array of wildlife, from birds and bats to insects and reptiles. His succulent flesh stores precious water, offering a lifeline to thirsty creatures in the harsh desert environment. Moreover, Sammy's bright white flowers bloom in the spring, attracting pollinators and heralding the arrival of the desert's brief burst of life. Yet, Sammy and his saguaro brethren face an uncertain future in the face of climate change and habitat degradation. Rising temperatures and altered precipitation patterns threaten to disrupt the delicate balance of the desert ecosystem, while invasive species and disease pose additional challenges to saguaro health. Furthermore, the expansion of urban areas and recreational activities in the desert encroach upon saguaro habitat, fragmenting populations and disrupting vital ecological processes. Without intervention, the iconic saguaro cactus, symbol of the American Southwest, could be lost to future generations. To support Sammy and preserve the unique beauty of the Sonoran Desert, conservation efforts must focus on protecting and restoring saguaro habitat. Land use planning that balances the needs of development with the preservation of natural landscapes is essential to ensuring the survival of saguaro populations. Additionally, public education and outreach programs can raise awareness about the importance of desert ecosystems and the role of saguaros as keystone species. By fostering a deeper appreciation for the desert's natural wonders, we can inspire stewardship and conservation action to safeguard Sammy and his saguaro kin for generations to come. In the cool, kelp-strewn waters of the Pacific coast, glides Sally, the sea otter. With her sleek fur and playful demeanor, Sally is not just another inhabitant of the sea. She is a keystone species whose presence reverberates throughout the coastal ecosystem. Sally's voracious appetite for sea urchins plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the kelp forest ecosystem. By keeping sea urchin populations in check, she prevents these spiny herbivores from overgrazing on kelp, the foundational species of the coastal marine environment. In doing so, Sally helps to preserve the biodiversity and productivity of the entire ecosystem, providing habitat and sustenance for a myriad of marine species. However, Sally and her fellow sea otters face numerous threats in their oceanic realm. Overfishing, pollution, habitat degradation, and climate change all pose significant challenges to their survival. The depletion of fish stocks reduces the availability of prey for sea otters, while pollution and habitat destruction degrade the quality of the coastal habitats. Furthermore, climate change is altering ocean temperatures and chemistry, disrupting marine food webs and exacerbating the frequency and severity of extreme weather events. These changes pose dire consequences for Sally and the delicate balance of the kelp forest ecosystem upon which she depends. To support Sally and protect the health of coastal ecosystems, conservation efforts must address both local and global threats. Sustainable fisheries management practices can help ensure the availability of prey for sea otters while minimizing the impacts of fishing on marine ecosystems. Additionally, reducing pollution and promoting habitat restoration can enhance the resilience of coastal habitats and mitigate the effects of habitat degradation. On a broader scale, mitigating climate change through reductions in greenhouse gas emissions is essential to preserving the long-term viability of marine ecosystems. By taking collective action to address the root causes of environmental degradation, we can safeguard Sally and her fellow sea otters, ensuring that the vibrant kelp forests of the Pacific coast thrive for generations to come. As we journeyed through the lives of keystone species, from Brian the beaver to Sally the sea otter, we witnessed the profound impact that these creatures have on the health and resilience of ecosystems around the world. They are not just individual animals, They are architects, engineers, and guardians of biodiversity, shaping the landscapes and sustaining the web of life that sustains us all. In the face of mounting environmental challenges, it is incumbent upon each and every one of us to embrace our role as stewards of the earth and to each other. Just as keystone species uphold the integrity of ecosystems, so too must we uphold our responsibility to protect and preserve the natural world for future generations. While the task may seem daunting, there are concrete steps that we can take to fight habitat and ecosystem loss, deforestation, and the decline of keystone species. Here are the top 10 actions we can all take. 1. Support habitat conservation and restoration efforts in your local community. 2. Advocate for stronger environmental policies and regulations at the local, national, and international levels. 3. Reduce your carbon footprint by conserving energy and promoting renewable energy sources. 4. Practice sustainable land use practices, such as responsible forestry and agriculture. 5. Minimize waste and pollution by recycling, reducing, and reusing materials. 6. Support sustainable fisheries and seafood options to protect marine ecosystems. 7. Get involved in citizen science projects to monitor and protect keystone species and their habitats. 8. Educate yourself and others about the importance of keystone species and biodiversity conservation. 9. Support organizations and initiatives working to protect keystone species and their habitats. 10. Engage with policymakers by calling your congressperson at 202-224-3121 and advocating for policies that support keystone species and ecosystem conservation. By taking these actions, we can collectively make a difference in the fight against habitat loss and ecosystem degradation. Together, we can ensure a future where keystone species like Brian the Beaver, Sammy the Saguaro cactus, and Sally the sea otter continue to thrive, and where the intricate web of life that sustains us all remains vibrant and resilient. Let us stand united in our commitment to be stewards of the earth and to each other, for the sake of all living beings and the planet we call home. Thank you for watching. My channel, known as the Renaissance Spirit, is dedicated to the pursuits of a just, equitable, and humanitarian world. Video topics encompass areas including history, politics, religion, personal development, society, culture, social and environmental justice, and other topics of liberal arts and sciences including ancient Rome and the Roman Empire, which is a great comparison and contrast of the modern world. Topics perfect for the true modern polymath. The Renaissance ushered in a golden age and the pursuit of knowledge both lost to time and yet to be discovered. It gave birth to the Enlightenment and the Age of Reason. Embracing truth, knowledge, and an understanding and compassion for humanity opens up the world to each of us, individually, and improves all of humanity, affording us the opportunity to be better stewards of the earth and to each other. The Renaissance spirit, more than just a philosophy or style, but a style for living, learning, growing and thinking. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. If you're looking to explore and experience what life has to offer, I'm sure you'll enjoy the other videos on my channel. Please peruse, and let me know in the comments what you get out of them and what other videos you'd like to see. But first, please take the quiz next to see if you're a Renaissance spirit. Live the Renaissance spirit.